All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we are going to discuss operations with integers. Example number 1 asks us to use a number line, and yes, I would like you to use a number line so we can refresh our brains on how to actually add and subtract. Because sometimes some of us, still a little rough. So we're going to start at -3, because that's my first starting spot, which is about here. I didn't realize this didn't have odd numbers, that's okay. Better than me having to make a whole one. So all my red tick marks are odd numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and pick a different color then. Let's do green. So -3, and then we're going to add -4 more. So when I add a negative, technically we're going to just continue going whichever way that I start. Now that sounds redundant. Well, how do I know which way to start? We know that going and having that negative means going to the left. So I'm already left 3. And then I'm going to add 4 more lefts. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So essentially what I've done is I've taken 3 plus 4, which is 7, and then I stuck a negative sign on at the end. So again, we're going to write that down below so we don't forget. And that was too much of a thank you. Sometimes my computer likes to be super difficult, and I don't know why it likes to do that to me, but it does. So we know that adding means to go right. A negative sign or a subtraction, depending on whichever way you want to see it, goes left. If you have a different sign, like following each other, you switch directions. So again, I'm gonna make that just a hair smaller. Ooh, that was not what I wanted to do. Undo that. I don't know what I just did. Redo. I started at that -3. Where's my mouse? So you can follow along. Started at the -3, then I wanted to go right because of the plus, but then the negative makes me go left again. So I went, well, okay, I ended up going left. -7. So if we have the same sign at the start, same signs at the start, so both numbers start the same, then we'll have the same sign at the end. If we have different signs at the start, your answer will have the sign of the bigger number at the end. So let's take a look. -11 plus -7. So if you notice, I'm going to grab my highlighter real quick. I have a negative and I have a negative, so they're going to both be negative at the end. So I'm going to take 11 plus 7, which gives me 18. So my answer is -18. And we said they're the same sign. I'm writing it because I know some of you are like, but where's my other color coming in? Where's my other color coming in? Right there, right where, even though I did the highlighter, you guys don't have that highlighter aspect. I do. So I have that unfair advantage over you. All right, next one, -18. I'm sorry, 18 minus 23. Now again, I know there's not that obvious sign in front of 18, but we're going to assume that because it's not there, it's positive. So I have different signs in this case. Oh, I don't want to write that large. So which one is bigger, the 18 or the 23? Well, 23 itself is a bigger number, so my answer is going to end up negative. And then if I take the difference between the two of them, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 5. So my answer is -5. Maybe I just, gave some of you an insight of how to count a little bit better. All right, multiplying and dividing. I meant to leave myself space to write a note, but that didn't happen, so we're going to do it on the side. Negative times a positive equals negative. Positive times a negative equals negative. Positive times positive equals positive. And negative times negative equals positive. So you can get either two answers, positive or negative. If you have just one negative in there at some point, no matter which spot it is, your answer is going to be negative. That's kind of otherwise it's just positive. That's the best way I think of it. If there's only one negative, then your answer is just negative. If there's two, it's positive. If there's none, it's positive. That's all I worry about. One negative, answer's negative, no matter where it's at. Okay, so 4 times 5 we know is 20, and there is one negative. So my answer is negative. 51 divided by 3 gives me, I don't remember off the top of my head, so let's do it out. 3 goes in there once, 3 times, get 21. 7, so my answer is 17. And negative, negative, so my answer is positive. Oh no, you can't see one of my problems. I'm going to have to move that just a smidgen. Next one below that, negative times negative is going to be positive, so I don't have to worry about that. And then let's do off to the side 14 and 12, not 21. I want to move my numbers around today. 2 times 4 is 8, and then 2 times 1 is 2. Start with the 0 just first. Sorry, I was hoping to just undo the 0, but that didn't work. Always start with the 0. Then you start with the 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Add them together. So 8, 6, and 1. So 168. And again, it's positive because I started with 2 negative signs. And then 63 divided by 7 will give me 9. And hey, look, I've got a negative, so my answer is negative. And that was a really pathetic negative, so we're going to try it again. And there we are. That's all I have. Have a great day, guys.